Here is a stoner. He lies around in his room all day, curtains drawn, Netflix on, smoking skunk that potent and that loud, his mum's gone deaf.
He tells himself Joe Rogan smokes it and he's successful. He just sold his podcast for 200 million, so it's surely fine if I do it.
Well, in this video, we're going to be outlining why Joe Rogan, or shall I say Slow Bogan, is the exception and not the rule, with health and lifestyle drawbacks.
We'll also be showing you how popular weed culture is playing on your psychology by abusing the survivorship bias and showing you the handful of successful pot smokers instead of the wasteland of people who are smoking this and currently failing at life.
This one especially applies to young men and teens, specifically under the age of 25, because you are going to need to heed this advice.
And it's ever more important that people start to make these issues mainstream as legality starts to increase around the West.
Now, we're really going to sink a teeth into the culture. It's not hard to see that there is a massive culture online and specifically on YouTube about it. I mean, look at my brother here. He's watched one Joe Rogan podcast and look at him.
I'm a man of culture. You've got to look at, over the last 10 years, who's probably been the main culprit of pushing the weed culture. It's been Joe Rogan. Now, if you look at Joe Rogan, he himself says he didn't start smoking pot until he was 30. Joe Rogan was already well on his way to building an established career. He was on tally. He's way past that 25 point of brain development, and he'd also got all the foundations in place. Also look at Joe Rogan's most popular podcast. It's with Elon Musk. Why was this podcast so popular? Well, obviously, one of the main reasons was because it was with Elon Musk, but it was also because, oh my God, look at Elon Musk, he's smoking a joint on the Joe Rogan podcast. Everybody wanted to see it.
Yeah, man, viewers want to talk about it and want to be relatable and have a little toke along and watch that with him. Elon Musk, the richest man on the planet, and Joe Rogan at the time recording that, the richest podcaster on the planet. Completely unrelatable to viewers like us, viewers like anyone at home.
Watching it in your underpants.
Yeah, they all did some of the successful men.
Stoned out your mind with keto dust on your crotch.
Well, that's the way you get that. And then you got Mustache Schultz's episode with Slow Bogan. That has 38 million views, and them boys in that podcast are stoned to the bone. Why has it got so many views? I wonder why.
I think there's also an impulsive episode where Wiz Khalifa goes on, because Wiz Khalifa was trying shot at one point. I don't know if he still is. So he went on there and them two got out together. You noticed the running pattern here, mate? We're back onto Andrew Schultz and Logan Paul. Did we do a video mentioning them before?
I think we did, yeah.
Yeah, I think we did. It's almost like you should go and watch that video and then also realise that these reprehensible people keep coming up in these videos where we criticise culture.
Maybe you should, on that note, like, subscribe and comment on our video, agreeing with us.
Subscribe for more do-rag.
Bosh.
I mean, we've just covered YouTube, let's look at Hollywood.
Or shall I say Hollyweed? I'm right. Let's look at the rise of the stoner in the early 2000s in Hollywood, piloted by the one, the only, Seth Bogan, with such films as Pineapple Express, a box office smash, a film solely based around the devil's lettuce. You got This Is the End, where all the lads are there, I don't know, are ripping a few bongs, you know. Seth Rogen really piloted this movement with him being a stoner himself. Hollywood embraced it. That's why he got so many hits.
If you look at Seth Rogen on YouTube, which brings us back to YouTube, he went on Diary of a CEO. He says, yeah, I can't get by without it, I smoke it every day. Again, so much for it not being addictive. And then to further point out the culture that surrounds this, all your favourite left-wing liberal media outlets such as, let's say, Vice News, Rolling Stone, they've all compiled the best list of stoner films for you. So if you're that lazy, you're that mashed up, you don't even have to go and look for stoner films, just go on Vice. They've got them all there ready for you. These people really are a benefit to society. I am glad we've got such journalistic integrity like all the people working at Vice and Rolling Stone. You've also got to think alongside of Hollywood and YouTube, an industry that I'm not so familiar with myself, the rap industry. That's massive when it comes to cannabis and yeah.
You can't say you're not familiar with the rap industry wearing a do-rag. Yeah, you've got to look at the rise of gangster rap and stuff like that in the 90s. These are people who've gotten famous over rapping, over degeneracy, gang violence and smoking. They are complete outliers to the rule because they've got famous off of the fact. I was the other night.
Yeah.
I was doing that. I was a bit sleepy, I nodded off, I wake up, I'm in a Porsche 911, fast lane, I'm thinking, I'm getting a bit quick here, I change down a gear, I speed off, life's dandy right now, I look into the hard shoulder, yeah, there's a family of 4, broken down car all pulled over, I think, target practice, I swerve over 4 lanes, aim at them, the second my bumper hits them, I wake up again, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm Rishi Sunak, I'm leading the country, I then decide that I'm going to make stomach acid illegal. Boom. Just like that, off of one smoke, the whole of the UK is arrested for having stomach acid. That's how dangerous it is.
I have no idea what this guy's on about. So I've just looked at myself in the mirror. I thought I was going to look like Snoop Dogg. I've ended up looking like the f***ing pirate off Dodgeball. Now I know this is going to be a bit of a touchy subject getting into the health, because there's going to be a lot of people saying this has helped me massively, it's benefited my life massively. There's obviously medicinal uses for this. Are you using this for medicinal purposes, or are you using this for recreational purposes?
Yeah, MS sufferers have medical marijuana. They need to have it. It numbs the pain. There's a wide conception, or shall I say misconception, that it's not bad for you in the long term and it's not addictive.
The first thing we'll get into is this concept that it's not addictive. It's clear as more information comes out that it is psychologically addictive. There's studies saying that it's not physically addictive, just psychologically, but I'm not sure what that means. If something's addictive, then it's addictive.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people necessarily online, and I know personally, people say that they can't sleep without it, they can't relax without it. Clearly there's a wider problem at bay there.
Yeah, if you can't get through daily life without something, that is a clear addiction. Yeah. And even if the science did come out and say it wasn't addictive, I only have to speak to people anecdotally. People are saying, yeah, I can't get through the day without this. Then it's 100% addictive. I
mean, just look at the rise of opioids in the US and even the UK. They supposedly calm you down, but are they good for you when celebrities drop dead left, right and centre?
Now you've got to think, the aim of this channel is we're going to be a self-improvement channel, try and build.
Are we not a makeup tutorial channel?
No, mate. If you aren't inclined to say self-betterment, then you may as well click off this video, because this video wasn't meant for you anyway. A lot of you are out there doing things like your dopamine detoxes, while weed's obviously counterintuitive to this.
Think about the act of smoking a couple bones. You've got high levels of THC, which fries your dopamine receptors.
Yeah, it's that concept that you've heard a million times before of you're retraining your brain to go for immediate gratification. That's what the dopamine is. Dopamine is the reward circuit of the brain, that when you do something successful or you do something worthwhile, you get a hit of dopamine. What this weed is, so you can just sit round, abuse this reward centre, and no wonder you feel lethargic, no wonder you can't calm down without it.
This little popper of a video will suit the demographic we're aiming for, the gentleman under age 25. When you're under 25, you are far more likely to become addicted to anything, regardless of whether it's of drink or of smoking a couple bones.
I'm sure a lot of you have heard the point that the brain doesn't fully mature until you're 25. This is why these detrimental effects will be for people who are younger than 25. Think about the ramifications 10, 20 years down the line, how much brain development you've got. Say you start smoking weed at 18, you've therefore lost 7 years of development. Extrapolate that over the next few decades, and all of a sudden you haven't fully developed the way that you should. Think about the loss in IQ, think about the effects on your mental health, etc.
It's different for boys like us pair. We matured mentally at age 6. So we can smoke all the bones we like, but you can't. Your brain is mature until you're 90. Now, look at the list of potential issues that arise when you try to wean yourself off of grass consumption. You have loss of sleep, irritability, and anxiety. And I know all you dumb hippies in the comments are going to be chatting on and saying, it's harmless though, lads. Lads, come on. Let me smoke a bone. Look at the NHS stats. In the past 5 years, there have been 125,000 admissions directly as a cause of marijuana. 12% of that are teenagers, which amounts to about 15,000. I don't know about you, brother, but if I was to drink a glass of milk, and that's considered harmless, would I be admitted to hospital for that?
I'm going to say no.
I don't think so either, you know.
No. And it also begs the question, I look at it like this way. Obviously there's a lot of people who won't smoke this. There's a lot of people who probably won't get paid to smoke this. Why isn't the science industry, if they're going to make this legal, surely there's an incentive there to pay these people, do this so they can get the scientific studies they need from it.
Yeah, exactly. And then let me swap places so I can agree with you. Yeah, I agree.
Cheers. For all you guys out here watching Amzi, addicted to Luke's Maxine content, well guess what? There's even a study that's suggesting smoking cannabis can make you go bald.
Have you...
What's up, mate?
Have you been smoking weed?
No, why?
You're bald.
Bro, I've got a full head of hair, what are you on about?
Alright. I think what it comes down to is this. No great person in history and no great achievement man has made did so under the influence of the green grass. Ask yourself this. Are you really going to have the motivation and get up and go to do anything when you are stoned to the bone? I think that's quite unlikely.
Also, this goes back to the point on a lot of these things, whether it's video games, TV, weed, alcohol, it's all done for recreational purposes. We're not against using things for recreational purposes. We get that people want downtime, but if you want to smoke it and you can limit it, then I'm sure it's beneficial for you in terms of recreational purposes. But a lot of you aren't doing that. A lot of you smoking it several times a week and it's rotting your brain. If that is the case, it's the same with the video games and everything else. You've got to cut it out and stop making these excuses of, well, it's medicinal. Yeah, it's medicinal if you've got serious issues, but that's not you.
Hang on 2 secs. Well, he's just lied to your face. He said he doesn't smoke it, but look what he's got in his room. It's these guys.